What's up, guys? You're watching the Animal Group today, so let's get into today's video. Hello, guys. Today we're going to be talking about how to feed new fish and what you need to know about it. Feeding new fish. So, thing you have to know about it, thing one. So, if you're having trouble feeding the fish, you might want to try different foods for the fish. So thing one is going to be try different foods for the fish. So if your fish isn't eating shrimp pellets, you should try flakes. If your fish doesn't want to eat flakes, then try bloodworms. And then you could go into koi sticks, you could go into like hikari, goldfish diet or fish diet. And because if you get a fish from a pet store or the wild, the fish might not be used to that food. It won't eat it because it doesn't know that is like food for it. And also, guys, by the way, Almond, our black Moor, is doing great, by the way. He's doing just excellent. He's eating a lot now. And I know from experience on how to feed newer fish because I have fed newer fish. And you can do like the bait and switch tactic, and you should switch. And if your fish has been, look at Almonds eating the gravel and stuff. And if your fish eats one thing and then it eats and eats and eats it, you could try that for its main, like the backbone of the diet, but it might get bored of that diet. So you must, if it's not eating that diet anymore, you could try to switch something else. And you should be aware of the species that eats the food, because a pleco, it won't eat flakes on the top of the surface, and it should eat algae wafers on the bottom, because you should know what type of fish it is to feed the food, what food for the fish it is. Okay, thing two, put it where the fish will eat it. So on the first day, your fish might not eat on the top of the water column, and it might only eat on the bottom. And that's because when it's new, in the wild, they have an instinct, because in the wild, there are birds on the surface, and if the birds see the fish, they'll go after it. And it will be easier to catch it. And they carry that, sometimes they carry that into captivity too. And they will think there's birds on the top of the surface, and they won't eat on the top of the surface, or they won't try to. Sorry, the audio is kind of bad right now. That's because of the mold non-grower, because this is a basement, by the way. So you got to put it where it is. So as I talked about it in the last thing, if you like have a pleco, you should put it on the bottom. But if you have like a goldfish, you could put it in the middle. You could like use feeding tongs or something to really get it to where your goldfish might be. And if your goldfish is, or if your fish is able to, like, if it trusts you enough, you might try to hand feed it at the surface. But you gotta put it where the fish will like it, because like if you get a bottom feeder like a pleco, like a plecostomus, common bristlenose, medusa plecos, all of that stuff will eat on the bottom, even zebra plecos. And you just gotta know that. Okay, thing 3. Thing 3 is that you have to know if it's a carnivore or an omnivore. Because if you're feeding like a Arapaima spinach, it probably won't eat that because Arapaimas are mostly carnivores. And you gotta know if it's an omnivore, like an omnivore like eats plants and animals, or it's a straight carnivore. So our goldfish right here are omnivores, so we make sure that we give it a omnivore diet so that they can really live and thrive. And you gotta give it that diet, or else they might not eat well because they're not really adapted, and they're very stressed out when they're new. And the shots were bad. And if it's like a carnivore, it won't eat the herbivore thing. And you got to make sure that like it's in their food, in their feeding range that they would eat in the wild. I know that goldfish don't naturally come in the wild unless they were released in the wild. So you gotta give them a diet that mimics what their ancestors or what they would eat in the wild. Like if you keep goldfish, search up what crustacean carps feed on, because crustacean carps are basically common and common goldfish, and goldfish and other species like goldfish are omnivores, so you gotta give them an omnivore diet. So that means you could give them a cucumber slice, or you could give them a goldfish flakes, or spinach, or lettuce, parsley, and you could give them shrimp as a treat, shrimp pellets, bloodworms. Bloodworms are really nice too, and especially because it is a new fish, it will be stressed out. So you got to give it the most filling diet that it can, because if it's stressed out in the next few days, then it probably won't eat, and you gotta fill it up so that so that it does not starve. So that is it for my video. Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe and like, and comment down below, because I still have the enclosure that needs animals in it. So please consider doing all that stuff, and please do that stuff. So follow my tips and watch some more videos. That's it for today's video. So bye guys. See you tomorrow.